I'd like to begin by sharing some quotes to think about. If you don't want a man unhappy politically, don't give him two sides to a question to worry about. Give him one. Better yet, give him none. Let him forget that there is such thing as war. If the government is inefficient, top-heavy, and tax-mad, better it be all those things than people worry over it. Peace. Montag. Give the people contests they win by remembering the words to more popular songs, or the names of state capitals, or how much corn Iowa grew last year. Cram them full of non-combustible data. Chock them so darn full of facts they feel stuffed, but absolutely brilliant with information. Then they'll feel they're thinking. They'll get a sense of motion without moving. And they'll be happy because facts of that sort don't change. And that's Ray Bradbury in Fahrenheit 451. Our strategy should be not only to confront empire, but to lay siege to it, to deprive it of oxygen, to shame it, to mock it, with our art, our music, our literature, our stubbornness, our joy, our brilliance, our sheer relentlessness, and our ability to tell our own stories. Stories that are different from the ones we're being brainwashed to believe. The corporate revolution will collapse if we refuse to buy what they're selling. Their ideas, their version of history, their wars, their weapons, their notion of inevitability. Remember this: we be many and they be few. They need us more than we need them. Another world is not only possible, she is on her way. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. And that's Arundhati Roy, in a book called War Talk. And finally, Dad, how do soldiers killing each other solve the world's problems? And that's Bill Watterson from Calvin and Hobbes, which is the cartoon, one of the cartoons in your bulletin this morning. So let us pray. Father, Mother God, we are grateful to be living in a place and time with so much potential. We are grateful for your constant and loving presence in our lives. We ask now that our guides and angels of those of the highest vibration be gathered around us as we celebrate their presence by repeating the prayer our brother Jesus taught. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. So, today's going to be a little bit different. We're going to start with an interesting song, though, too. Today's going to be a little different. I don't have my usually researched, thing that I read and share, and I have been encouraged to share more personal information, and I will admit I'm very uncomfortable with this, but I'll be doing it anyway. So if it makes you uncomfortable, feel free to leave. I would be fine with that. So one of the reasons, what I want to start with before I get into my stuff and the reason I'm sharing this, there is a recording here from, I have a friend, now a friend I guess, named Anna Larai, and she channels a group called the Alchemy Collective. They do a global meditation on Tuesdays, and that's kind of how I got involved with her for some years ago or something. The one they did a couple of weeks ago talked about the difference and what we are all going to be facing in 2024. This is going to be a very different year for everyone. And I just would like to share what they have to say about it so that you don't think it's coming from me. It's not just me, trust me. I have heard it from other sources besides them, but they put it very well. So I'm going to ask Charlie to play the recording from that to start with.
And we want to share a little bit about our reminders here as we continue to bring these vibrations through. We share with you that clearing your wounds or your blockages, whatever language you use around all of this, is more important now than it has ever been. And that is because of the frequencies and the tsunami of energies that will be experienced this year on your planet, most likely. And the tsunami of energy that we are referring to is what you would call less desirable or negative energy, but it comes from the collective consciousness. It comes from other humans. It is not energy that we are bringing down or that is coming down onto the planet. But what is happening is, in these coming months, you will most likely see a buildup of fear on your planet. And there is already a great deal of it, and many of you know people, or maybe you are in great fear yourself. And as that builds, it will affect you with anything that you resonate with. So if you are in lack, and there are fears around lack, it will affect you. This energy will affect you greatly. But if you have cleared your wounds or your blockages around lack, then you will more likely and not be affected by it at all, because you have already healed that. But what we mean is that as the energies that come that you resonate with, the fears or the negative energies, if you are in resonance with them, meaning you have still not cleared them, then it will be like a tsunami where you're being washed over and flipped. But if you have already cleared them, it is just like being in a boat on the ocean with little gentle waves. You get to ride the wave of it in a gentle manner. Does this make sense to you? We're trying to use language that might make sense. And the other thing is, as we talked about with our Heart Collective this weekend, is it is very important to be observant of the polarity that you live in and around you, and to stay out of battle mode. For battle mode, even when they say it is light warriors, even if they say, oh, you are battling the dark, you are a light warrior, it is still battle mode. It is win-lose. It is polarity. And unity consciousness does not hold the two polarity. It does not hold the extremes. Unity consciousness means you come out of polarity and into that unity. So we invite you to look at wherever you are battling, within your family, within the legal system, within your government, within the dark, wherever you perceive it, and anywhere that you see us and them, or good and bad, right and wrong. Anywhere that you see these, know that you are in polarity. And that is the way of this third dimension. It was created as a polarity expression so that all could experience the extremes. But it is time now to be more discerning, to see these, and to choose unity, to choose love, to choose peace, rather than division, rather than battle. The more that you can choose peace and anchor peace, the better it will be for yourself this year, and the better it will be for those around you. And you are supporting the planetary energies of peace. And we do not share any of this with you to cause any fear in you. That is never ever our intention. We are simply giving you a heads up so that you may prepare the best you can, so that things are easier for you, that they are less difficult. It is just like when bad weather is called for, and you put things away that could blow away, and you make sure your generator is working, and you board up your windows, and you bring in a little bit of extra food or fuel. You do those things in preparation because you know something is coming, and it might come your way, it might not, but you want to be prepared. And this is why we tell you, we are trying to prepare you a little so that no one can say, I didn't know. And the word tsunami is creating fear in some. Is there another word you could use, or is there a purpose for it? Yes, we do not say it to create fear, but there is a purpose for it. It is a word that all of you know as creating a big wave, a big change. And if we said, and so that is why we have chosen this word, because we are trying to, we want you to understand that this year is different. What is coming forth in change is different. And we hope when you hear this word that it will make you prepare. We do not deal in fear, and we only deal in love. And we love you deeply and want you as prepared. So if we don't do, there are many out there that manipulate through fear, that really work with fear. That is not of the highest vibrations. Will it come in waves? We would say yes, but it is hard to say because it is based on the collective consciousness and what will be released emotionally.
Yeah, that's fair. It's all good. It didn't fade away gradually. So, all right. So, some of you may remember I did kind of a series of 3 messages a couple of times now. I've gone through them. The recordings are on our website if you want to see them, and they're all about healing. This is why, although they said this after I had already done the sermons, but it's why I have felt so motivated to speak about healing. And for me personally, if I'm going to take advice from someone about something personal, a life decision that I need to make, I want to know about the person who's giving that advice. I don't want to speak to a doctor who doesn't know anything about what I'm going through. I tend to migrate toward women doctors, and I do it because the men doctors I've been through don't understand a lot, can't understand. They may have the best, more empathy than anyone else in the world, but unless they've been in a woman's body and lived a woman's life, they don't really understand where I'm coming from. So it's why I've been kind of, one of the reasons I've been kind of pushed to share a little bit of my background with you and my personal healing journey, so that you know where I've come from. And if it resonates with you, fantastic. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. If it makes you uncomfortable, I'm sorry. Again, I will not be upset if you leave. So, trigger warning, whatever you want to call it. I've probably alluded a couple times to the fact that I didn't have the happiest childhood, and I don't think I need to go into a whole lot of detail on that, but I will tell you that the reason it wasn't happy is not because my parents weren't wonderful, loving people. It's because I was different, and they didn't understand me. Nobody understood me. I felt like I was always on a different wavelength than anyone else. And back in my generation, we didn't really know words like autism and Asperger's and those sorts of things. And whether or not I'm on the spectrum, I don't know. I'd say there's a decent chance because I don't see things the way that other people do. When I teach these mediumship classes, there are people that come in and they talk about how different their childhood was because they could see spirit and hear spirit and all of that. That wasn't me either. I am absolutely not gifted that way, and I'm envious of those who are. But that's not how I was different. I just thought differently than other people, and I literally could not understand why they did the things they did. And that set me up for a great deal of teasing because I couldn't follow along with everybody else. So because I was teased a lot, and didn't really have friends because they didn't understand me either, and I didn't understand how to act to be a friend to somebody else. I just didn't get it. So childhood was not a good time for me. And I carried a lot of emotional pain from that. Because one of the things that I have learned about myself that helped explain a lot is how empathic I am. And that is, I feel things emotionally very strongly. And it isn't just my stuff that I'm feeling strongly. I'm picking that up from other people too. And it explains why I always felt different around different people. And I would be criticized. Why do you act so different around them? I don't know. I can't tell you why. All I can tell you is when they're around, I feel like doing this. When you're around, I feel like doing that. I don't know why. Now I understand why. And that's part of what put me on this path toward spiritualism and understanding this is once I figured that out, I was like, well, how do I shut this down? Dang, this is unpleasant. I want to just be me. I don't know who I am because I'm different around everybody. So that's what started me on this whole path to begin with, and it's been a long and interesting path. I've been through so many things. Just trying to figure this out. And I've been motivated by emotional, and that translates into physical pain far too often. Certainly has with me. So when I talk about emotional healing, you understand this is where I'm coming from, why I got into it. All those things that I talked about in Sermon 2 of the healing journey, I listed different ways that you could identify your thought patterns that are causing the emotional pain. I've tried them all. And kind of what I've come to, the thing that I've tried recently that's helped me the most is this emotional clearing that we're going to be working on today instead of doing a meditation. We're actually going to use the emotional clearing technique that I've used that has been most effective for me. But understand that there's a caveat with that. This is all tied in together. Your thoughts cause your emotions, okay? And your emotions kind of sometimes reinforce those thoughts. It's kind of hard to tell which came first, you know? So when you do this emotional clearing, you will feel better about whatever issue it is that you have cleared. But unless you change your habitual thoughts, those emotions are going to come back. And you can clear and you can change. And you can, so The original steps to this said that it was optional at the end. Once you've cleared something and you feel lighter about that particular issue, you've released whatever anger or fear that you've been carrying about one particular thing, you release it, and that's fantastic, and it feels good and it feels light. And 2 days later, if you don't change the way you think about it, you're going to come back and you're going to need to clear again. Because your thoughts are what creates those emotional energy blockages that we're working on clearing today. We're clearing energy blockages from your aura, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing. But you need to work on thinking the thoughts that put those energy blockages there. It's easier to do once you have cleared that energy and your aura feels clearer. It's much easier to think those positive thoughts. So you can keep going back and forth, and this is a process that you can use more than once. If you're really good with it and dedicated and make a real commitment to it, you really only have to do it once. Because you do it once and you change your thoughts about it, and then that energy blockage doesn't come back. Okay? Does this all make sense to everybody? Hopefully. Okay. So, that's what we're going to do today instead of a meditation. I have I forgot to bring one of those up. All right, so I'm going to have to go in the back and pick up one of those sheets. I have sheets in the back that list all the steps of this clearing process, because there are steps. Oh, bless your soul, Ellen. Thank you. So you can all take one home with you. Thank you. I forgot the announcement, so I've got to bring one of these up. I don't know what I'm doing today. I'm putting my faith in the universe, and it's not used to that. So, okay. Let's go ahead and turn the lights out, because it'll be easier to feel a little more private. Some of this clearing may bring up tears. For me, I know that's when it's really working. I can't do this clearing without crying, because that's just how my body clears things. So I know I've hit the right thing when the tears come. I put extra Kleenex out there. If you're not comfortable doing that, that's absolutely fine. You know, you're in your own private world here. But there's absolutely no shame in the release of the tears. And not only is there no shame in it, it's more effective in my mind if you do. So, before we get started connecting and doing this process, what I frequently do to figure out what I need to work on that day is just kind of take a couple of deep breaths, and I kind of reach down and feel emotionally into my gut and say, all right, where is my fear today? Where is my anger? Where is my hurt? Where is my grief? What is it that I need to clear today? So you just kind of feel into that and find whatever it is that you're going to work on today. And hopefully there will be some words that kind of describe it to you. So find your feeling, find the words that describe it, and then we'll start the process. And the first thing we're going to do, always, always, is to align and connect to source light and your highest self. And the way to do that is to, again, it's easier with your eyes closed. You can imagine a light or a connection coming from the crown of your head up to source and up to your highest self. And you may feel that connection, or you may just imagine it, but know that if you ask for that connection, it happens. So trust that if you say, I am connected, that you are. And now we're going to imagine or visualize or trust that you're going into your heart space. And go into the back of your heart, and you'll find a room there for you where it's comfortable and where you feel safe. Now we're going to invite your highest self to come forth and stand in front of you. This more advanced version of you, your highest self, begins to share their higher vibration with you, and feel that vibration flow into you and become part of your current awareness. And along with your guides that come along with you, there is a healing team, an MAP healing team, we call it, the Medical Assistance Program. These are specific guides that come with you whether you've met them or not. They're part of the White Brotherhood. So call on your MAP healing team to enter the room. And they will help you find the subconscious belief or program within your fields. And they ask you to feel where in your physical body this belief or program is lodged. And we'll take a moment to feel into that. And once you identify where this energy is in your body, reach in or imagine into the specific area of your body and pull out that subconscious belief program. And this subconscious belief may trigger some strong emotions or tears, and that's a good thing because it means you found something powerful. And while you are feeling the energy or emotions of this belief because you want to be feeling it, you repeat this 3 times consecutively with your energy guide and your guides and your MAP healing team supporting you while you do this. I am now and forever, and you can just say this in your head, across all time, space, dimensions, realms, realities, and levels of consciousness, releasing any and all beliefs or programs around this belief your MAP team has shared with you. I am now and forever across all time, space, dimensions, realms, realities, and levels of consciousness, releasing any and all beliefs or programs around this belief. And I am now and forever across all time, space, dimensions, realms, realities, and levels of consciousness, releasing any and all beliefs or programs around this belief. And feel into that and feel if it's gotten lighter. Because if you don't feel those emotions or the release fully, repeat that phrase until you feel like it is completely released. Take a breath in and let it go. And now imagine an energetic magic that attracts that negative energy you just released and pulls it from your auric field until everything around you is clear. call in the violet flame to surround you and fill you and support you and keep you clear. And now we'll call in a new belief, the opposite of the one you just released. And repeat it 3 times in a row, out loud when you're able to do that. 3 times, say it with conviction and feel the truth of it. And feel how different it feels to say those words now. I am worthy. I am loved. I am okay. Everything always works out for me. Whatever words make you feel loved and supported and are the opposite of what you just released. And see how they feel and fill you up. And now ask your highest self to download love from your crown chakra to the new belief, to the location in your body where the old one was removed. And this new one enters. And once you feel complete, you can leave that space. You can leave your heart space. Thank your guides, your teams, your healers, whoever has been there with you, assisting you with this. Thank them. Breathe in the new peace and the new you. And go ahead and open your eyes and come back. Be reminded to drink lots of water in the next 3 days and gently move your body to help that new program settle in and become part of you. And that is it for today. I think I've shared more than enough. Thank you. Bless you all. One piece that I had mentioned forgot to mention is that when I do this clearing and replace the beliefs and all of that, what helps keep me focused and is a reminder of those positive beliefs that I'm trying to reprogram in there, the thing that helps me the most is my connection with spirit. So those of you taking the mediumship classes, I will remind you that this is very much a spiritual journey and you are opening up to listening to spirit. And the more often that I am connected, the less likely I am to allow that fear and to allow those negative thoughts to come back. So just a thought to help keep you focused once you've cleared. Don't feel panicky that, oh, the new belief hasn't stuck, the new belief hasn't stuck. The more you connect with spirit, connect with your guides, connect with your loved ones, that raises your vibration, and then the fear doesn't come back. So thanks. That's